Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture.
Welcome to my episode 10 for 2024 of Saturday Morning Makes.
Hey y'all, this is Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. I do want to clarify, earlier this morning, this is Saturday, March 28th, and I actually posted another video earlier this morning that was me watercolor painting the images on these cards. But I also wanted to go into detail about how the cards were made, and the other video was specific to the watercoloring, and it was fairly lengthy, so I didn't want to go into too much. So broke it down into two different videos. And first I want to show you the watercolor paints that I used to paint these images up. Now, this is a set that I got on Amazon, but it is is it Gonzai Tombi? I think they're all the same company, or they're affiliates of one another. Let me tell you for sure. This is the set. It is Kuretake, as in Kuretake Zig. But it is also Gonzai Tombi. So this is what it looks like. There are several different sets. This is the 36 pan. I absolutely love it. They're full pans. They're not half pans. And it has been a very, very good set for me. I believe they are considered a professional blend, if you will. Anyway, that's the watercolors that I used, and then I also used my Kuretake Starry colors for some of the highlights, and I did some splatters with them with them. Each one of them has either a hint of gold or some of this kind of platinum white gold, and those colors were taken from here. So I'm going to gather things up and move them out of the way to create room for us here, and we will get started. So let me see. First things first. In my other video, I colored up these two, or painted up these two wreaths. Now these wreaths are from, I want to get everything together. They're from Whimsy. They are retired, so you might have to go on to like eBay or something like that to find them. But I think they're absolutely beautiful. It's the Farmhouse Wreath stamp set, and there's some beautiful sentiments with some very fun fonts. And I've just always loved these. And even when they were retired, I don't know if it was right before I started on the design team or right after, but I just can't stop using them because they're beautiful. But at the same time, I rarely have opportunity to use them. So with that said, I stamped them out and painted them up. I figured wreaths were fairly simple in terms of showing watercolor technique. And yeah, so I used that Kuretake watercolor set. Now this little cutie is from Hello Bluebird. I don't know the name of the set, but he's this little guy. I have used them for lots of different things. And then the little baddie is one of these. This is Baddie die set from Whimsy. I got these last year. I don't know if they were released last year. I feel like they were. But there are several different ones in here, and I really love these little bats. Super easy. You can cut them out in any color that you want. I just mounted some yellow on the back to make his face features show. Added some little strips from my stash and some sweet little confetti from This Calls for Confetti. That is, let me see, I want to give you the right set. Those little guys are from This Calls for Confetti. I think this is the yellow bokeh. I don't know why I didn't put the actual name, but yeah, lots of different sizes, different tones in terms of like the color and the brightness and whether it's translucent or not. So that's why I think this one is the bokeh mix. But that's where these little blingies came from. The tags themselves were just from my stash. I know I pulled some out. I got them off of Amazon. Came like this. I think I got 1,000. And I just, I coffee dyed or tea dyed a bunch of them. And then, so that's one that's coffee or tea dyed on the back. And then on the front, this one I actually picked up some Posca paint with the tag itself. And then I stamped, I didn't get the stamp out that I used. It's from MFT. It's like a typed font. I don't know if you can see that in the back, but anyway, that the background was already like it was. I just added the elements to it to create it. Now this tag is, I think it's considered a number 8 tag. It's from Tim Holtz. I don't have any more of them. This is a pull. This whole background is a pull that I did maybe 2 years ago. You can see all this glorious grungy goodness. I can't stand it. I love it so much. The paints that I used were Arteza metallic acrylic paints. I used them on my gel plate. And again, I added just a little bit of stamping to the background using, this is my all-purpose stamp. This is from Tim Holtz as well. I think it's from it's not Gothic. Maybe it is called Gothic, with the skull, and it has a music stamp, and then it has this one. This one stays on my desk. It doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, I added just a little bit of that. Painted up the wreath. I added these glorious olive black sparkle gems to the wreath itself as berries. Can you see that sparkle? They're green and black and blue, and they are so freaking pretty. I love them. Again, olive black sparkle gems. And then the My Love is from, so there's a slimline die called Blanket something or other, and some of these came with that. This is the My, this is the Love. There's also Sending Wishes, Sending Best Wishes, and then on this side they're a similar font. Friend, be like B-E, Sweet, Mine. So those are Honeybee as well. So yeah, I use those a lot. It's a nice, fun, simple, thin font, but I really like it. And then again, some more of that. It's just pattern paper and strips of black cardstock from my stash, just to add a little something something. This is, I don't know if it is Sorry. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's seam binding, but it's from my sweet friend Lisa. She sent it to me in a swap not long ago during the winter time. Oh, and that guy. Let me show you. That guy is from this set from Whimsy. Oh, no, it's not that one. Okay. Where are you? Did it stick to this one? No. It's like Frankenstein's coffin or Dracula's coffin or something like that. If I can't find it quickly, I'm going to move on for just being respectful of everyone's time, you know. And I'm not finding it, so I'm going to move on. But if I find it, I'll show it again. But I've used this a lot lately. And all these little elements were literally just sitting in my stash. I have containers like this, just sitting around from different projects and stuff, just sitting in there waiting to either be used or put away. And that's where all these different elements came from. So we'll scoot those guys over. And again, if I find him, I'll pull him out so you can see what I did. Now, after I did those two wreaths, then I moved on to the sweet little stamp set called Arctic Friends. I wasn't sure if it was Arctic or Polar, but I stamped up all of them. Again, all of these were watercolored with those Kuretake Zig Gansai Tambi, and the tags were from, I think these were either Diane Revley or Dina Wakley. I think Dina Wakley, but they were a third size in there, so they weren't, you can see that they're just a little bit in between both of those. And I had already put the purple glitter paste on the back, and they were solid white. I just added some ink blending to the sides. I don't have that stencil. I don't know where that stencil is from. I thought it was one from Stamperia or Stampers Anonymous, but it's not the same. That one's more of a grungy kind of netting or fish scale. But these little hearts were already in my stash as well, and I just thought they were fun. They were purple already. They were die cut from some ink that I did a while ago. Oh, there he is, from Dracula's Coffin. I knew he was here. When I have things on the magnets, it helps to keep everything straight, but then they also stick together. So I get a little lost sometimes, lost in the sauce. Now this one is the primitive shaker dies from Whimsy. I think this is on the retired set, so we'll be going away soon. But you can see that I use these two sizes to get these different hearts. And again, the particular paper that I used was from a project that I did a while ago with some Lindy's, what are they called? Lindy's Magicals. And I just thought they were fun. Now the sprinkles on the background, this one is from this set. It's called Glazed Grape. This one is from this one. It's called Royal Orchid. And I pulled out different ones. You can see that this one has a variety of different kind of colors and tones in there. And I thought that was really cute. And then this one is just that same super soft purple in the background. So I used both of those. Now this tag was one of those that I bought from Amazon. And I picked up some paint in the background. And it was all the pinks. And then I came in with this again and I stamped in pink. And I tried stamping in Lost Shadow, but it was just too light of a gray and it gave zero impact. But I was able to pick up some of the gray, so I have some of the gray in the background as well. But then I came in with, what did I stamp with? I want to say it was pumice stone. I don't have it out anymore. Or do I? Oh, you know what? It was something mist from Versafine Claire. That's what I stamped with. But then these hearts again were from that primitive set from Whimsy. And yeah, I was holding up that size to make sure that that larger one was that, and it is. And the My Love again. Now these little clay bits are from a different mix, and I don't know, is it from this one? It is, it's from this one. It was Halloween on Main Street. This is a Disney mix, but can you see those little purple discs in there? That's what these are from. They're like little clay discs. Some of them are thicker than others, but they were just fun. And again, I thought this pink was kind of a purpley pink, and this kind of married them all together. And so I thought that was really cute together. So that's how that one came together, and these other two little guys. And then the other one from that set is this. Now this was, it was a gel plate print that I made last year, I think. It was last summer. I did a little gig with a Colorful Life Designs, and I used this glorious stencil. It's the Sunflower Circle, and I actually made several different things out of this print. So it was a print, and then I stenciled over it in white paste, and then I added some more color to it just to kind of make some of those other pieces pop. But then again, you can see that I came in with a script. Now this is the vintage script from Whimsy Stamps, and I don't have that out with me. I just saw script and thought it was the same one, but now that I'm looking at it a little more closely, I can see that it's not. But again, colored him up with those same paints. This was just a little scrap from my stash, and then I used these raven beads. They come in different sizes, and I just used them to kind of accent and bring black in another place. So we have the black of the stamp, and then we had this, and then I used the black dots, and you can see it's kind of that triangular, taking your eye up and off the page. And then I used this little rickrack for the tie. So that is how that one came together. And now the other guy from that Arctic Pals is the penguin, and then I made this card with him. Now this gel plate print has been in my stash for a number of years, and I absolutely love it, and I've wanted to use it, but I've not wanted to use it, if you know what I mean. So this is the other part. You can see it's just, wait, maybe it went this way. Yeah, that's a better gradient. It went that way. And I used this stamp set from Spellbinders, the larger one. It's one of their nestabilities. And yeah, I really love this shape. It's very, very pretty. And the way that I painted the pengy, he has some blue and he has some gray, and then his cheeks are kind of that pinky orangey red, and then he has the orange in his feet and his beak, and then of course the grays and the blacks in his body, and then a little bit of green in his eyes. I felt like he pulled in all of those background colors from this. Now this again, this wasn't a pull, but it was kind of the ink smushing technique, and then I stenciled over the whole thing with this. You can see this is well loved. This is called the Messy Dot Grid. Obviously it's one of my most used, one of my favorites from a Colorful Life Designs. And the paste is Shimmery Goodness. I think it's called Shimmery Goodness from the Crafter's Workshop. I don't have it in front of me. But this background, I wanted this kind of corally orange, and I didn't have enough, but I laid several scraps together, taped them together, and then trimmed it out to be the right size. And if I hadn't told you that, you couldn't see, but if you look close, you can probably see the little spaces and the gaps where they're taped on the back. And then this was just from my stash as well. I just trimmed it down. I thought it made a cute little landing place for him. Added a little piece of ribbon to the top. Did a little bitty strip of black cardstock, and it wasn't quite enough, so then I added the black and white polka dot, and I think it came out super, super cute. Now that high word die came from this. This was from the Stamp Market. I know that it is discontinued, but it's a label set. It's a frame and a label, and then the high. And then I used one of these white pearl embellishments from This Calls for Confetti to make the tittle on the eye. And I think it's super cute. No other embellishment besides that. That's all I did. And again, all of these pieces were already in my stash. I did nothing extra to create these cards. They were already in my stash, just sitting there waiting to be used. So I love smashing my stash in that way. I think it's so fun. Oh, I also wanted to say this particular tag, the others were already in my stash. They came pre-made, but I used this die to create this tag. And then when I put the cardstock on the back, I just glued the front to the cardstock, and then I trimmed it out with my cutter. But that's how I got this card, or this tag. Was this set from Whimsy, and it's on clearance, guys. It's going away. It's going to be retired soon. So if you like these tags, this is probably my most used set from Whimsy. I have several that are frequently used, but this is probably my most used die set, and it's about to go away. So I'm a little heartbroken over that. Then we are going to move on to the little pandas. And the pandas that I made were from, or that I used were from this set. It's called Panda Butt. Panda Butt Clear Whimsy Stamps. They are super cute. I used all 4 of the panda images and painted them up. Then I also used the 2 little bamboo trees, and I used You're Cuter Than a Panda Butt. So let me kind of pile these up so they don't distract. But then here is the card that I used, or that I made. Again, I used this set from, this Nestability set from Spellbinders. And then this is the size that I used. Now this was one big, it was a gel plate print actually. And I'm looking to see if I have the remnants in my trash. And if I do, they're buried. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So it'll kind of give you an idea of what it looked like. There's trash attached to it, but so I just cut out 3 sections and created 3 squares. And if you look closely, you can see where the color gradient, where it blended. So the blue into the green into the yellow, and then the green into the yellow into the orange, and then the orange into kind of a coral into a pinky red. But I spun them around so that they wouldn't look like, you know, they all came from a row. Which is what happened, but I just thought it was super cute, and I layered them up on some double-sided foam tape. This is actually from This Calls for Confetti. Oh, I know I have it here. So they have these circles, they have the strips. Now these are going away. They are on their clearance list as well. So hop over there. I'll try to have everything linked downstairs in both this video as well as my watercolor video. Can't make promises, but I'm going to do my best. But again, just watercolored these guys up. I stamped them with VersaFine Claire Nocturne, and then I used, where is my, there it is, my Memento pen, because there's a gap there. The stamp just simply wouldn't go, so I used the narrow point on this Memento pen, and I just drew it in. And if I didn't point it out, again, that's one of those things that you probably wouldn't notice. So there is that. I think it's super cute. And then I used the Marion Bright Sparkle Gems to add just a little bit of color and texture and a little bit of shimmer to each of the squares, and these come in this beautiful color assortment. So much fun. So it's got some blues, it's got some greens, some oranges, and then this green is a yellow green, and the orange is a yellow orange. And so I just strategically placed them, and I think it's absolutely adorable. And again, the sentiment that says you're cuter than a panda butt. So stinking cute. And then I think this one is my absolute favorite. Let me move these away. And this is that last little panda butt. And like I said, I painted him up, but the heart and these trees and this panel and the hello were all in my stash. So the panel, I actually did some ink blending and some splattering, and then I used this. I actually had some gold watercolor on it, and I stamped it, and this has been sitting in my stash for at least a year. And again, it's one of those that I wanted to use on just the right thing, and I actually have had it out many times, and then I end up putting it away because I just wanted to do it justice because it was so pretty. And then I pulled out these slimline dies from Cat Scrappiness. I couldn't remember the name of the company when I was talking about it earlier. And I had to do a little bit of, what's it called, where you do, partial die cutting. So I die cut part of it, and then I shifted the die down, and then I die cut the other end because the panel just wasn't large enough. So that's what I did there. And then I used this one to die cut a white panel, and then I did ink blending and salvaged patina around the edge just to pull out some of this greeny blue. And then the hello was already in my stash as well. The hello is from Simon Says Stamp. It's 100 years old. It's from a set that said Hello Friends. It says Hello Friends script, and it was that hello. Very pretty, but it was cut out in some gingham paper, so I just used the same salvage patina with this brush that I've designated for oxides. This is a Whimsy brush, but there are a million different ink blending brushes on the market. Use what works for you. And then I just held the die cut word down, and I gently ink blended over it so I didn't tear it. And then this die was again in my stash from that same primitive set from Whimsy. And then the trees were also in my stash, y'all. It was this trees assortment die set, just stuff that was sitting in my stash. This is one of my favorite die sets from Whimsy as well. I guess they're all probably favorites, but this one became like a staple, I guess, if you will, a staple in my stash very quickly once I got it. I hadn't had any trees, and then when I got it, I was like, why in the world don't you have any trees? But that is that. I think that is probably my favorite. I think it's so stinking sweet. It's just a lot of fun. And then I also used, this is the ribbon that I used for his little landing spot. And then I used this kind of white hemp for the ties on these two. I forgot to pull those out. But I think that is everything, friends. What do you think? And again, these were only made because I wanted to put the images that I watercolored onto a project, right? Like I wanted to show start to finish, but it was too much to try to do it all in one video. So that is what I have to share with you today. Y'all let me know what you think. I'll link over to the watercolor video as well if you want to watch that process. Now it is about 35-40 minutes long. I have sped it up twice and cut out as much of it as I could. The superfluous stuff where I was just sitting watching a video or on my phone or something like that, all that stuff was trimmed out. But if you want to go faster, if you want to see the process but not all the details, go into the YouTube settings. It should be down in the bottom right corner, and you know it's the little cog icon, and click on that and you can speed it up, or you can slow it down if you want to see it in more detail. You can do that on any video, y'all. But I thank you for spending time with me on this beautiful Saturday morning, and hope that you guys are having a beautiful day, and I hope the rest of your weekend is lovely. I'm going to be hopping around and seeing what everyone else has done, and I invite you guys to do the same thing. I did not go into what Saturday Morning Makes is at the beginning, but if you are unaware, it is an open art collaborative. Anyone can join in. You don't have to make paper crafts. Just use the hashtag SatMornMakes. Tag your video or your photo if you just post photos on Facebook or IG or wherever it is that you're posting, and that way others can hop around and see what you've made, and we invite you to hop around and see what others have made. This is a very supportive and encouraging community, so we invite you to hop around and share that love, share that support and encouragement, and of course the creativity. Thanks, y'all. Until next time, mwah. I'm out.
Y'all, thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd love to have you back. Definitely drop me a comment downstairs. I will have a supply list up very, very soon. So if you're interested, use those links to go just check out all the fun things that I've been creating with. And until next time, guys, I'm out.